Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1704. That's how many mornings I've come to you to bring wisdom, morsels of a thought. Morsels of a thought, and hopefully that it becomes wisdom that you may know what the right things to do are. Knowing the right things to do is wisdom, and actually doing it and putting in the action is called virtue. So we bring more virtue into the world, morsels of a thought at a time. M.O.A.T. Moot. Okay, so here we are in the book by Jen du Plessis, How to Take Your Business to New Heights. America's mortgage mentor. Oh, I have something in my eye again. Okay, so we are reading from page 146. Generating and using client recommendations. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh, my eye. I'm sorry. This is terrible. Okay. Using client recommendations. Your success in generating recommendation letters is tied directly to how you educate your clients about how you work by referral and your desire to receive referrals from them. They didn't go to, quote, customer school, end quote, as our chief experience officer, CXO, Steve Dorfman frequently alludes to, so most likely they are unaware that you are seeking their feedback. Here's a suggestion. After receiving a stellar survey, assuming you ask for surveys, you could take a few action steps. First, you could call the client and thank them for completing the survey. Ensure they are settled into their new home and check to confirm how everything's going and ask how they are enjoying their new home. Now, mapping these words onto your own life, my own life, I have found that if I correspondingly give my friends an idea of something that they like, a story that they like, or a thing that they like, I ask them if they are enjoying what I gave them. Be sure, the author says here, be sure to check to make sure they've received their first payment coupon or if they've received notification whether their servicing has been sold and if they have any questions. This is where we map it onto our own lives and we help people. Okay, so here, Jen du Plessis says, likely they will compliment you again, as they did in the survey, creating a heightened state of gratitude. This is your opportunity to ask for the business. Remember that you have earned the right to ask. Our CXO has taught our team to use this scripting. Thank you so much for that. It made my day. This is why I do what I do. And you can say no to this and you wouldn't hurt my feelings, but would you be willing if I provided you with a link to go onto Zillow or Facebook to write just a few sentences about your experience? And again, you can say no and it won't hurt my feelings. You have, end quote, you have given them an out so that it isn't awkward for either of you. If they are really ambitious, you could suggest they copy and paste what they already wrote and post to all of your social media sites. Remember, this is not an essay, it's just a few words. Simply follow up with an email and the link. After hanging up with them, we write them a thank you note to thank them for spending time on the phone with you. So you say this to your friends. You say, I'm really glad to have this conversation with you. I am really glad to have you as a friend. Okay, and back to the book. Another option is that you could simply send an email, although not as personal, with the following verbiage. Hello, blank line. I was wondering if I could get your help. A lot of people were in the same situation as you were in when financing their home, first-time homebuyer, credit challenges, etc. And I find that sometimes clients just need a little more reassurance when they meet a new person in knowing that they are really and truly working with a professional. I'm wondering, and you can say no, and it won't hurt my feelings, if you wouldn't mind helping me by writing a recommendation letter so that I can share your similar story with them. Most will do it. However, not everyone will. So please don't get discouraged if someone doesn't. I will tell you that everybody wants to help, but one key here is you may have to do some follow up to get a recommendation or letter. Most of the time, your client is going to respond letting you know they are more than willing to help. If you don't get any response, then pick up the phone and remind them about your request. That usually jogs their memory and produces results. Don't wait too long. It's better to catch them while they're still excited and everything's fresh. Even though you might have to do a little more legwork, it's worth doing. Once you start collecting recommendation letters, pool them into different buckets according to a potential client's situation, such as first time homebuyers, refinancing, credit issues, relocation, move up buyers, reverse mortgages, second homes, investors, and so on. So that when you have a new client who fits one of those categories, you can send a series of specific testimonials to reemphasize how great your business is and how you are completely capable of handling their transaction situation. Hint, you can also capture the material from Zillow and transcribe that back into the success stories and recommendations that you send to new clients and new referral partners. Remind them that you work by referral and appreciate them keeping you top of mind for any referrals to friends or family. Jen's Jots. Periodically write down success stories that you can then share with prospective clients and referral partners. Don't forget to enlist your team members' input. Ask for recommendations at closing or after receiving a fantastic survey. Share success stories and recommendation letters according to client situations, such as first time buyers, buyers with credit issues, second homes, and so on, to demonstrate to prospective clients you experience they can relate to. Ramp up your Zillow recommendations. Now, this is America's Mortgage Mentor, Jen Duplessis, in Launch How to Take Your Business to New Heights. I read this because I map it onto my own life. I am not a mortgage mentor, I am not a mortgage agent, but broker, sorry. But I am living a life that needs some guidance. In other words, maybe I'm a loner and I don't know how to be a social butterfly. Well, here are the analogous behaviors that we can learn to do in ourselves that we can use to make better friends, upcircle our associates, and make ourselves better feeling and happy. So now we go to chapter 4, part 24. This is Morsels of a Thought, 1704. Hopefully, lots of wisdom. Call me first. Jen Duplessis says, call me first. The big idea. When a referral comes to you, call your referral partner first before you call the client. You may find you can help solidify the partner's relationship with the client. Plus, you demonstrate your willingness to help your partner's business grow. Bird Baguette says, BYRD, BAGGETT. Bird Baguette says, ask questions and identify needs before you present solutions. You always want to act in the interests of both your clients and your referral partners. Well, here's a way you can do both and help further validate the relationship between you and a partner. When a referral comes to you, what is the first thing you can do that best serves your long-term goals? Well, in my mind, the first thing you should do is check in with your referral partner before reaching out to the client. If you do that, you may actually then be in a position to help your referral partner win the client as well as gain some great intel about the client so you're better prepared for the call. Obviously, there will be times when you pick up your phone and it's a client indicating that someone has referred them to you. In most cases, however, you'll get a voicemail or an email from a client reaching out to you and indicating someone referred them. This is a great opportunity for you to call the referral source first to ask them if there's anything you can do to help them when you talk to the client. One of the things that I think we take for granted is that the partner already has the client secured. That may not be the case. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're being shopped by the client against other professionals. This presents you with a great opportunity to show you care about the partner's interests and business. You may be able to help, quote, sell, end quote, the partner or reiterate to the client something important that the partner would like you to address. I have found this, quote, call the partner first, end quote, practice to be really helpful. In fact, I stumbled on this one day and I'm now using it in the normal course of my business. What happened is that a real estate agent who made a referral happened to be in competition with four other real estate agents. When I called her, she asked me if there was anything I could say to the client to help steer the client to her. This, of course, this is exactly what I did. Sorry, I missed the line. Of course, you can't fake your enthusiasm or the things you say. You have to know the capabilities of the partner and you have to be familiar with how they work and how they serve their clients. That's where getting to know your referral partners more deeply can be very helpful. If you do know your partner well, you have the opportunity to resell your referral partner to the client. This demonstrates in a very concrete way that you care tremendously about your referral partners and their interests. Whether you are working with a realtor or some other referral partner, this is a great way for you to make an impact on your business. And Jen's jots here are three of them. Call your referral partner first before you call the client they referred to you. Find out from the partner if there's anything you can do or need to do to help them when you talk to the client. Helping the partner is a vivid demonstration to them that you care about their business. They will appreciate and remember what you did. So that is how you get repeat business, is to make sure that you treat what you got from them with great respect and ask them what you can do to further help them in their relationship with the referral. Anyhow, chapter 4, part 25. The rear view mirror. The big idea is take the time to thank each partner in the chain of referral partners that led to a client referral. This will deepen your relationships with partners and lead to even stronger business ties. Habits. Sean Achor. SHAWN ACHOR. Sean Achor. Achor. Habits are like financial capital, they say. Forming one today is an investment that will automatically give out returns for years to come. That's by Sean Achor. Do you remember the feeling you got the last time a professional acquaintance called you out of the blue to thank you for something you don't even remember doing for them? You felt really appreciated by that person, didn't you? And your positive view of that person went up a notch, maybe two, didn't it? You probably filed away in your memory bank the good feeling you got from that gesture. Because of that experience, you know you're now even more likely to work with or do something for that person in the future. That's the idea behind the practice I learned and implemented from Michael Maher called the Great Retrace. Maher is the author of the 7 levels of communication, go from relationships to referrals. The Great Retrace is the simple yet very powerful act of taking the time to thank each partner in the chain of referral partners that led to a client referral. This is something I've done for many years, and it's a great way for you to get back in touch with and back to top of mind with anyone who has referred business to you in the past through the complete chain of connections that led to the client. So appreciate, appreciate, appreciate. Actually, that's part of Chinese tradition too. To when you drink a cup of water, think of the source. And when you eat your rice, thank the farmer. That's why we put our hands on the bowl when we eat our rice. If our hand is not touching the bowl, it's a sign, it shows disrespect toward the farmer that got you the rice. Okay, appreciate, appreciate, appreciate. That's my own interpretation of this. Okay, so then we're reading Lunch and Morsels of a Thought, number 1704. We're reading from Jen du Plessis, America's Mortgage Mentor. We're in chapter 4.25. Follow the links back to the beginning. Here's how it works. Let's say Anne, a real estate agent, just referred a prospective client. You've had your conversation with the client, you call Anne to thank her for the referral. Now, this is just a bare bones basic of our business, so I truly hope you are already taking this step. If you aren't, please, please, please make it a priority. It's the least we can do as loan officers. Thank someone for referring us. When I get a referral like this, I call, I send a follow-up email, and I mail a thank you card and or send a video message. This concerted follow-up is aimed at further strengthening my relationship with the partner and keeping me top of mind with their next prospect. Think about how you too can unleash a focused follow-up with referral partners. Now that I've closed the loop with Anne, the great retrace really gets going. Let's say you met Anne via a referral from Bob, who happens to be a title company representative. You pick up the phone, call Bob, and say, Bob, I want to thank you again for referring Anne, the real estate agent, to me because she has just referred a client to me. I hope to send the client your way to get the title work completed for his transaction. Even if there's no immediate connection for referring business to Bob, you would still call him and thank him for the referral to Anne. Now the loop is closed with Bob. Then you would call and thank the partner who referred Bob. If there is yet another connection, you'll call that person and thank them. And then every additional link in the referral chain until you get back to the beginning or don't have any more data to know who referred the initial person. You may have only one link in your referral chain or just 2 or 3. The number of partners involved isn't important. What's important is that you call every single one so you complete the chain. The best use of your time. This is a term also in real estate, highest and best use of the property. Well, we can use that in our lives. What's the highest and best use of my time right now? What is it? For me, it is to read from Jen du Plessis and read from Lunch, How to Take Your Business to New Heights, to you, the audience of M.O.AT, Morsels of a Thought, preferably of wisdom. Ta-da. The best use of your time. The author says, these days, having been in this business as long as I have, my retrace phone call chain can go back as many as a dozen contacts. Making that many calls may seem like it takes a lot of time. You're right. Sometimes it does take a fair amount of time. You know what, though? I'd rather spend the time making those calls to retrace everyone in the chain than spend that same time cold calling or working on the minutiae of loans so that I can strengthen my relationships and perhaps jog their memory about me for yet another referral. The retrace phone calls cement referral relationships, thus contributing to new business in the future. The great retrace is another of the many tools and techniques you must use to bring in new leads. And as I've said over and over in these pages, lead generation is the most important activity you can do with your time. Take the time to make those calls. The relationships you keep active and strong will pay off time and time again. Now, this is like what you can map onto your own life is when you say, thank you for introducing me to so and so, and going back and bringing back and bringing back. Okay. No CRM, no retrace. This is the next part. Of course, making retrace phone calls back through the unbroken chain of referral partners depends on one very vital linchpin, a system for tracking the connections. If you don't have or haven't taken the time to develop a system for tracking who is sending you referrals and how you met that partner, well, you've got the great no-go. You're at a dead end. If you can't determine in a very quick, efficient way that Bob referred Ann, your chain has no links. Your customer relationship management CRM system is crucial, indispensable. Without a well-maintained CRM, you don't have the system for reaching out to the right people at the right times, such as the Great Retrace. You absolutely must have some type of CRM, customer relationship management. The author says, I get it that you may not have the money now to purchase a CRM system, or you may not have the time to support or manage it, but put this on your must-do list. In the meantime, put together a simple tracking system or an Excel spreadsheet so you know exactly where you're getting your referrals. Invest in your systems and your investment will pay off many, many times over. Jen's Jots. When a partner refers a client to you, call that partner to thank them, and then call every partner in the chain of connections that led to the referral. Create a system to track how you're getting partner and prospect referrals so you know whom to thank. Okay, so that's that section for part 25. Next week, we shall go to the two-way street, giving business to get business. And that will be on page 154. We can map this onto our own lives by saying we have let's say we're trying to do an event and we want to call people, or we want to call a network of new people that we haven't known very long. You just go back, you call every single one, call every single one. It takes a lot of time. The most successful events take so many phone calls. I can say this from my own prior experience. I did a project, and in order to get 12 people involved in the project, I had to make 51 phone calls. I made 51 phone calls over call. And that was just a project. That was not mortgages. So we shall see you later. I always talk about Martin Van Buren, who was known as Old Kinderhook because he was from Kinderhook. I think it was Pennsylvania. And shit, I should look that up. Morsels of a Thought, number 1704. Okay, that's where we get okay. Old Kinderhook.